just an aimless phase, every day unseen, hiding in the shadows of a world so mean, a forgotten soul, living in a world so cold.
Well, what's going on, guys? This is Carl with the Racerred channel. Off on a little journey today. Gonna go connect into some trails that I've never been on. The beta worked awesome yesterday. I really like the sock suspension. I really like the whole bike so far. I am concerned about my tires because, or my tubes rather, because I just have the standard stock tubes, and I have a feeling that they're gonna go flat pretty easy. Anyways, I'm gonna hit the road, go up past this hot springs here, head up into the mountains. Catch you guys on the next section.
In the quiet of the night, you're walking through the shadows of a world forgotten. For the unsung heroes, for the battered soul, find your way to the light.
How's it going, guys? This is Carl with the Racerred channel. Today I'm going to be talking a lot about the 2024 Beta 300RR because this is really my first ride on it, besides one short ride the day before this when I parked about 100 miles away from this location. I just wanted to kind of give you a sense of what riding the motorcycle is like. When I first step onto the bike, that's what I want to give you a sense of, because I'm coming off of a 2018 Husqvarna TE250, and not only that, but that bike is completely set up for me. So I've adjusted the suspension, I adjusted the rear brake upward to put less travel on it, I put a bigger shift pedal on my Husqvarna, I have a different clutch on it, I have all kinds of stuff on my Husqvarna to tailor it to my riding style. And so jumping from that to a stock standard 2024 Beta 300RR is going to be a lot different. And I feel a lot of the same things that need to be changed. Like the rear brake needs less travel. In my opinion, that's just my riding style, how I prefer it. I like the rear brake to be right there. The front brake, I think they've upgraded that in 2025 with a bigger brake caliper. As far as I can tell, that really did make a difference, because I can tell a difference between this 24 model and the 25 model. The 24 seems to be a bit more grabby than the 25. That said, I'm kind of going through this ride, telling you my experience. I've only got a couple hours on the bike at this point. And so when I'm going up a lot of these steep climbs, I don't have a good feel for where clutch's contact patch is going to be, or, you know, basically anything on the bike. I don't have a great feel for the suspension or the tires yet. So this is my experience for the first few hours of riding.
I really like this engine and how it runs. Oh man, it's so nice.
This is a motorcycle that I bought with my own money. I didn't get a discount on it. I didn't go to my local dealership and get any special perks for it. This is something that I hand selected based off of a lot of research of different motorcycles. It still has a spot for a Kickstarter. It's still carbureted. They run really strong. They have a 6-speed transmission. They're lower to the ground. I have amazing dealer support at Gem County Motorsports here locally. And so these are a lot of the reasons why I chose a Beta over the other brands for my most recent motorcycle. So that said, I will still be riding the Husqvarna TE250 on some of my videos. I'm going to keep that bike. The Husqvarna I am definitely needing to do a lot of work on. So once I get all of that done and focus on that for the rest of this year, it's definitely going to be back in the mix.
Yeah, the bicyclists up here, there's like 50% of them seem like they're pretty cool. The other 50% seem like they're a little communist. You got that angry mug when I'm going by. It's like, yeah, that guy's probably a little butthurt. I think what I'm going to do today, see, I came up through this trail right here. I'm going to take a left, up and around. If I can make all these intersections, I should be able to. I just stay to the right. Stay to the right again. Just do a big loop, and then cross over in here. Cross here, and then down this trail. Get a pretty good size loop in. Maybe even a bigger one if I get to here and want to go even further. Using Onyx Off-Road, by the way. Very good app. It's amazing. It's all I use, even before they were helping me out. There are some minor adjustments I need to make to this bike, but for the most part, this thing feels great. I really like the sock suspension. It just feels plush. The engine on this bike is fantastic. I'm running the stock everything on this bike except for protection. These bikes just don't come with enough protection. But as far as engine, clutch, and transmission, all that stuff is exactly how it comes from the factory. Except for the carburetor, I had to rejet the carburetor because it was just way too rich. At the very beginning of this trail, I ran into some crazy exposure, and I thought that was going to be my life for the remainder of the trail. So I was just going to be exposing it up next to a cliff, but not so. Seems like this trail system receives quite a bit of traffic. And most of it is mountain bike traffic. My rear brake has too much travel before it actually activates. That's just a quick adjustment. Super easy to fix that. And this bike is obviously the best looking bike. I think that's obvious. It's the best looking bike. I think that's what it's known for right off the bat, is just being awesome looking. But it's not fool's gold either. You know, when you get an attractive girlfriend, and she's got like this crazy personality underneath. You hitch your wagon to the wrong horse, and a good looking horse, but one that's not very nice. Well, you can do that with dirt bikes too. You don't want to hitch your wagon to the wrong dirt bike just because they look fancy. However, this bike is best of both worlds. You have things like premium Brembo clutch and Nissan brakes. I really like the turn radius of this bike. It was improved for 2024. It was improved again in 25, but this is a 24 model. I have yet to hit that steering lock, but on like a 2022 Beta 200, I will hit the steering lock every ride. It does not give me enough turn radius. So yeah, it was a welcomed improvement in 2024 to get this turn radius squared away. It's nice to be able to just stand up and get around these. Apparently, this rear tire hooks up pretty well. I had like no wheel spin almost there. I expected to spin a little bit and kind of pivot, but it just hooked up. That happens to me once in a while. I think that's partially due to the tractability of this 300. The 300 platform is very tractable. Although I've heard that the 250 has a longer stroke engine, so I don't really know. I haven't looked into that one. All I know is I like the 300 a lot. I already have a 250, so I didn't want to go that route again. When you're riding a 300, it just feels like more of a serious bike. I said that before. I'm not sure that people really understood what I meant. It just makes a lot of power, and you can feel that right when you start it up. You can feel that when you're riding it just like this. I'm not even touching the potential of this bike. Not even close. It's able to go way faster. But as trail riders, we live from 0 throttle to quarter throttle. We don't typically need to be revving it out because it just doesn't provide traction the way we should be getting it. And also, it tears everything up too. I don't like to tear trails up. I care about the environment, I do. It's something that I talk about pretty often on this channel, but usually it's talking about how annoying environmentalism is. Well, it is annoying because it's gone to a religious, anti-human extreme. my biggest concern when it comes to trails is just keeping them nice for the next person coming down them. That's my biggest concern with a trail. That's not an environmental issue. But you can see these big, long, sweeping trails. They really don't have any erosion. All winter long, these have been hammered by water, and there's no erosion. There's a reason for that, and it's because of the rock foundation. The soil composition is just not conducive to having erosion on most mountains. People kind of bark up the wrong tree. Sometimes they're kind of masochistic, where they're self disciplining. When it comes to riding dirt bikes, because they will take what the environmentalists say, and I'm talking about the extremist, anti-human extremist environmentalism. They say, oh, we believe whatever, we're going to go off of whatever that is, and then I have to hear about it like in these big long discussions, and it's like, let's go look at it, let's go out and ride, let's go see for ourselves. You could be right. You speak words of wisdom, but you do not understand. I think a lot of people just want to help. So I don't think people are bad just because they're trying to help. I just think that bad people use those people. Nice turn radius. See, I think this bike would have, had it been a 2022 model, at least the 200 would have locked the steering bolt right there, and I wouldn't have been able to make that turn. See, I touched the steering bolt right there. This is very rideable, though. It's not a hindrance, as far as I can tell. The 200, the 2022 200 is not without its flaws. And during a short review of the bike, when my dad bought that thing, I rode it for a week, I think it was, different spots. But I didn't ride it in the high mountain stuff where you find a lot of tight switchbacks, and so I didn't get a feel for that steering lock, the steering radius being a problem. What I should do is go back onto that video and notate it, like in the description or something. Hey, yeah, this has a flaw that you should know about. Because whether that bike is given to me or just someone's let me borrow it, I always want to give my most honest opinion for you guys. I don't want it to be tainted by the fact that I got something on loan or for free, or it's always going to be exactly how I feel about stuff. That's the video I'm going to make. Granted, I'm not going to go out of my way to be mean either. Yeah, quite a few of the hikers have been smiling and waving and friendly. I find that it's mostly mountain bikers that are like mean mugging you when you're riding by, which is weird, considering a mountain bike does the same exact thing to a trail. One thing they can't do is create divots under power, and that creates whoops. Mountain bikes can't do that, but they can create ruts. They can cause the trail to damage just in the exact same ways that a dirt bike can. There we go. I find it kind of odd that I've seen traffic this deep in. It makes me wonder if there's an entrance nearby on this backside. I have noticed that even though I hesitate sometimes with this bike because I'm unfamiliar with it, I'm not familiar, it feels unfamiliar, that the bike makes up for a lot of just pussyfooting around with the engine. There's been at least 3 times I can think of where I've hit some rocks. I'm not committed, which is not good, but the bike just makes up for it. The frame geometry on this bike, it feels real good once I got used to it. The suspension makes a huge difference when it's plush because you can stick to things. If your suspension isn't plush, then you kind of bounce around like you're on a 2x4, especially when you're side hilling it. That's where it really shows. Well, the rock section was not difficult, but you're off camber on the loose stuff right before you get to that. Rock can sneak up on you if you're not straight when you hit it. Definitely don't want to hit rock gay. I do believe I'm going to stop in the shade here and check my Onyx off-road map. I will catch you guys on the next section. Peace.
His name is Racerred. If he wasn't riding, he'd be in bed. He naps during the day. He rides his love in garage bays. Oh, he rides all night, full throttle all the time. Oh, he was born to ride. Red Racer, like, comment, and subscribe.